Today I'm going to share with you all the critical things that you need to know about personal finance and investing and retiring and growing your savings into something that wealth and dreams are made of in 5 minutes or less. I do get asked this on rare occasion about personal finance, and there's so many videos out there already about this that I thought if I were to do it, I have to do my own spin. So I'm condensing the dozens of books I've read in personal finance into all the most important points in 5 minutes or less. Let's go. Subscribe. So, first thing you need to understand is the power of compound interest. Compound interest is basically this idea, a mathematical concept that allows you to grow a small amount of money into a large amount. It's what allows you to contribute something like $10,000 a month to a retirement fund, and that will grow to potentially a couple $1,000,000 by the time you retire due to the power of a long period of time. An exaggerated quick example would be take a grain of rice and then double it every day. So on day 2, you'd have 2 grains of rice. Day 3, you would have 4. By day 100, you would have more grains of rice than atoms in the universe. That is an example of it. So how do you exactly get started? Well, your first goal should be to contribute and max out your Roth IRA contributions every year. Your Roth IRA is very tax efficient and you'll save a lot of money through taxes. But there is a limit, I think it's currently $6,000 a year, that you can contribute to it. And make sure that you choose a index fund that has the lowest expense ratio and then models a large US index. I suggest Vanguard's S&P 500 because expenses really eat out your returns. If you're compounding at 10% per year, but then that fund is taking 3% of that every year, you could lose a couple $100,000 by the time you retire in these expenses. Well, you might be saying, well, what about these new flashy funds, and what about this one? It has a very high expense ratio, but it has this really cool manager and he's going to actively choose stocks. Well, if you look at the data, and there's tons of data, like a vast majority of fund managers fail. They fail to beat the market. They fail to beat the S&P 500. And the ones who do beat it in one year, they lose the next year. And it all kind of balances out. It's a very tough game, and it's rather a tragic game where they're basically charging millions to be basically these people in New York who think they're so good at it, and they consistently fail at beating the market. So it's a fool's game to try and pick a fund manager and pay high expense ratios. So just put it into a USA index fund and you're good to go. Now, once you've maxed that out and you're doing that, are you good to go? What if you want to contribute more money? Then max out your 401k. Your 401k is nice because it also has tax savings, not as good as a Roth IRA, but it also gives you some tax savings. It's something that is beneficial because your employers oftentimes will match some of your contributions. Not a lot, like 1%, the first 1, 2, 3%. And that could be a way of just getting free money each time you contribute. And there is a larger annual limit, but a limit that most of you will not hit unless you start making a boatload of money. I think it's around 20K per year, and it grows by a little bit every year. So I think it's like 25K per year or something like that. So that's the next thing, and let's just say you've completed all that. Well, now you're a rock star, but if you want to contribute even more, what else can you do? There's an HSA, which is also very tax efficient. An HSA is similar, but you can only spend the money for health reasons. We're talking surgeries, condoms, pharmaceutical bills. There's actually a very long list of things that are eligible. That has a limit too, but max that out as well. And then anything left, just put in a standard IRA. No tax efficiency, but still grows the same way. That's all I got for you. 5 minutes is about to end. Like, subscribe, comment. I went pretty fast on this. Can't believe I did. Sorry if I went a little too fast, but there's my little stick for you.